Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm outside once again. Unexpected day off from work today, but even though I don't have to go into work, it's still never technically a day off for me. Especially this time of year with all the snow and the weather and everything else Mother Nature's been throwing at us. But little day in the life video here. Yesterday I got quite a bit of the firewood that was in block form here processed, split, and put into the pile. As it sits right now, I've got a strong 4 cords sitting in the pile all the way up to right there. Cut, split, stacked, covered, and ready to start drying as soon as things thaw out. So, because I still have some more firewood over there that needs to go in, probably close to half this much, about another 2 cords, I'm going to take this other dry pile right here, the stuff we've been burning this year, and move it to a better location for accessing it, since we're probably going to burn the rest of that anyway, and then I'd have all the old pallets that are still frozen down to the ground to start building another new pile on right next to this one. But with that being said, there is not going to be any firewood work going on today. Today is pretty much going to be dealing with snow removal. We're going to brush off some of the old equipment, some of the cats that are outside covered up. You'll see some old iron. I got some lean-tos I need to rake off, and probably end up doing some plowing by the end of the day. So if you want to tag along, I'm about to get started. So to get started, as long as I'm on my way by anyhow, I need to pull some of that snow off the lean-to, not because there's so much up there now, but because a lot of that from that sharp slope is going to come down and pile up later. So I want to keep that pretty well cleared off, lighten it up a bit. This is the old shop where I do all the work on the Caterpillar stuff, at least all the work I've been doing, tearing down old 2115 and 1113 and that old 3J engine and all that stuff. So that's this building. Come back out here, and incidentally, I've never showed you this before. It's mostly buried under a bunch of lawn garden tools, firewood, stuff like that. This is an old Farmall F12. It's been sitting here for a lot of years. It's actually the very first farm tractor that my great-grandfather on my dad's side ever had. When my grandfather turned 18 and left the farm, my great-grandfather finally sold the horses at that time, and he bought himself a tractor. And this is the one. I've never heard it run. It's just kind of one of those keepsakes that, as you can see, is buried under tons of crap. Maybe someday I'll get it running, I don't know. It's not that I don't have enough projects as it is. So anyway, get the snow broom, snow rake I should say. Around back, start working on that lean-to. Nice part about the snow that I've already broomed off is it makes a nice platform to stand on, gets you up a little bit higher. Get some of this stuff and just start pulling. Yeah, I'd say a good foot up there anyway. Okay, that's better, at least until that stuff up above comes down and stops and I get to do it all over again. We're getting the snowbank pretty close to being to the eaves. We're at least halfway there now. Only one time before did I ever have this built up high enough that I could step right from the pile right onto the lean-to, and that was back in 2013. So we might do it yet this year. Who knows? So with that done, now we move on to some of the poor old cats that have to spend their winters outside. I don't know if you can recognize this one or not. It's old 1113. I think you remember what it looked like back before the whole world was frozen. Just got to get her uncovered, get that weight off the tarp so it doesn't start poking holes. And here's old RD6 number 2H1768. I believe this one's a 36 model year, if I remember right, but I love this old RD6. She's a standard gauge and narrow, you'd say. Got this one covered with heavy canvas. Holds up pretty well, but still, that snow load will take its toll eventually. This one's another one of my someday projects. I would love to tear into this one and just start working on her full time. Just too many other irons in the fire that I need to take care of first. Just give her a quick check here. Look at that RD6 accents on each side. I just love these things. They just look so cool. This one's the early style with that big cinder block style injection pump. Governor arm coming out the side. Just love how these things look. Come around here, see how everything's faring under here. Ah, yeah. Like I say, this old crackled paint that's on here just cannot duplicate that look. Nice old style gauge faces on there. Just love it. I'm becoming more of a connoisseur, you could say. Aficionado is probably a better word for the original condition old machines. Shiny's nice, new paint is all well and good. I've been there, done that. But man, I wouldn't change this at all. That's just awesome. A lot of history there. Nice big toolbox. Here's an interesting thing. Here's a regular size toolbox for this size tractor, RD6. My fat fingered gloves here. Can't do anything. Got some stuff in there. That's the size, about the height that they should be right there. Found this one at a swap meet. Exact same style box. Same contours, same hinge, same lid, but it's like twice as deep. Kind of an interesting find. Pick that up, don't know what I'll do with it. It's like a cat box on steroids. Now that those are done, we continue on. See what other kinds of troubles we can find. And once again, as long as I'm passing by, hiding under all the snow here, Cat 20. It's got the old wavy Caterpillar script across the top of the radiator. PL series, very early one. But that's a story for another time. As long as I'm on my way to the next job site, we'll take a look at these here. Swamper pads, 20 inches wide. Two great big coils of them for Cat D2. And just a few D2 track rollers under here. Someday stash. And you guys have undoubtedly seen this machine. That's my white RD6. Got the Cat 212 grader parked next to it. But like everything else now, it's pretty much just hibernating. Yeah, this dang snow sure can keep you busy. There's a lot more of it on here than I had thought. There we go. I'll catch the engine cover on the 212 as long as I'm here. Working on over to the pole barn lean-to now. I'm going to pull some of that snow down from there. This is something. If I get it off in one piece, ah, yeah. Thing must be dang near 4 feet long. This is where my F350 hides for the winter. The Diva truck, as I call it. I just can't bring myself to get it full of road salt. It's never seen salt yet, so just hides under here, under cover, all winter long. I'll get it out and start it from time to time. If we get a warmish day, high 20s, low 30s, tool it around the ranch. Other than that, till the roads clear off, she stays right here. I'll give you a case in point example of why I hate road salt. Old Blue here, my poor old 03 F250. Had her since she was new, but you can see the rust is taken over. Paint's peeling off the bottoms of the doors. Cab corners getting soft. Wheel well openings disappearing. That salt just corrodes vehicles. I just hate it, but what are you gonna do? I could keep her running forever, but she's gonna fall apart long before then. Personally, I'd prefer it if they didn't put any salt down at all. I mean, if people just used a little bit of sense, drove accordingly, You can drive on ice and hard pack just fine, but I don't know. They're too dumb to do it. They refuse to slow down. So we have salt and our vehicles rot away. I don't know. I swear I'm getting old because it's like, stupid people. You know what's wrong with the world? Everything. I don't know, man. Just getting grumpy, I guess. But I digress. Sorry for that. Gotta get busy pulling snow. We're burning daylight here. Okay, pole barn lean-to is done. There was quite a bit of snow up there, solid 18 inches I'd say, but I wasn't really worried about it. We built it pretty strong with 2x12 rafters and then 2x6 purlings going across, everything braced and further supported out here. But we wanted to get some of that weight off of there because more snow's coming. We're not so worried about the pole barn roof because back when we built these, we built all these trusses ourselves. That's when we had the big circular sawmill going, and these are sawed out of railroad bridge timbers. And we have supports that go down the center, so pretty well braced. I think those were a solid 2-inch thick by about 14 wide. Those were some pretty heavy duty trusses that we made there, so not worried about the pole barn, but got this lean-to cleaned off. Time for a glove change now. Well, I got dry gloves, had some lunch, back outside. We need to start plowing snow now. We're gonna do it with the M and the truck, but the problem is the M has started to run bad. What happens is, as it runs, this snow melts off the hood, gets in the distributor and gets things wet, and it gets that rough idle that you can hear now. So we got a tarp up here, keep the snow out. We'll shut it off, get in there, try and dry all that out, hopefully be back going again. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff down in there. Yeah. Well, that did the trick. It's running good again. Now we can move some snow. We got the plow put on old Blue, and since we got the M running again, he's been down here plowing for a bit. I'm just going to come down and check on him, make sure things still running just fine. Running good, no troubles here. So now that he's running fine, he kind of goes and breaks up the heavier stuff with the tractor. Gives me a few avenues of approach with the truck here. I'll go ahead and do cleanup. Makes it a lot easier for me to get through with the truck after he's already bulldozed the first foot or so with the tractor. And cleaning up with the truck is so much quicker than the tractor because I can angle the blade. Don't have so many little windrows between passes this way. Even though we've got plows and everything else, there's still a lot of areas that need to be shoveled out by hand. Just can't quite get in far enough to get them cleared out without damaging stuff. Well, we plowed snow for 3.5 hours straight, but we did get it done. It's all cleaned up again for now. But it's after 5 p.m. here. It's going to be dark in about 20 minutes. And honestly, folks, this has just kind of been an average day, kind of a day in the life. I really don't have to look very hard to find enough stuff to stay busy with around here all day. those folks that are afraid to retire because they don't have anything to do, don't know what they do with themselves. I can't even fathom that, because I could have every day off of work for the rest of my life and never be bored and never not be busy. That's just kind of the way it's always been. And I didn't even do any kind of hobby stuff today. This was just normal day-to-day upkeep. So one of those things, doesn't matter how many days off I get, I could always use some more, because I got firewood to finish. I still have roofs to shovel, haven't even got to the main roofs yet. And then once I shovel all that off, it's snow plowing again to get all that stuff away from the buildings. You know, it's just never ends. But I do like the life. I do like living out here. Could not be cooped up in a city. I'd go stir crazy. I need to have plenty to do like this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you didn't get too bored. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you back again.